Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for joining me today. Before I get started, I was going to talk to you about this t-shirt. I have a few of them. The company that I get these from is actually a program called the Til Valhalla Project. And what they do is they work with organizations like Mission 22 to help prevent veteran suicide. As a Navy vet myself, it's something that's near and dear to my heart. If you have a chance, there will be a link in the description. Go check them out. And yeah, if you have the opportunity to support, I highly recommend it. They donate most of their proceeds to Mission 22 and other veteran suicide prevention programs. Today, we're going to get started with making pork tenderloin on the Pit Boss smoker. If you've never seen a pork tenderloin, it's these. They're relatively small in size. This particular one is just under 2 pounds. I'm making up a couple of these. What we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit of rub on them. We're going to let it sit for a little while in the refrigerator, and then we're going to cook them to about 145 degrees on the pellet smoker at, I'll probably set it around 250 degrees and let it just go until they're done. If you didn't know, the FDA has released new criteria on correct temperature for pork. 145 degrees for whole pork, 165 for ground pork. I'll post a link to that in the description as well. Anyway, but before we get started, so I don't get my hands all dirty, we're going to do two different things today. One of these is going to have this Woodfire, they call this Woodfire Garlic. I apologize, I don't have the bottle because the packaging on it was kind of jacked up when I tried to take the lid off. But anyway, I poured it into one of these containers that I got off Amazon, which is a pack of 3 for 10 bucks or something. It wasn't very expensive. Anyway, I just dumped it in here. This has a really great flavor. If you have the opportunity to pick it up, I'll see if I can find a link and put it in the description as well. The other one that we're going to be making today is kind of a homemade rub. I'm going to use a barbecue and mesquite from McCormick. And basically it's 2 mesquites to 1 barbecue, or in this particular case, since I don't have to make a whole lot of it, we're going to do 1 whole mesquite to about a half of the barbecue. And we're going to add some other things in here as well, like onion powder, garlic powder, and then I also have created coarse kosher salt and ground pepper in a 1-to-1 ratio inside this container, so basically salt and pepper to taste. So let's get started. We'll start with the barbecue. I'm just going to dump this into my little container here. We're going to save the bottle, and then I'm going to dump this fresh one into my bowl also. Now you'll see that this pretty much fills up the bowl with these 2 ingredients. Obviously it's a small bowl, which means that what we're adding as far as salt and onion and garlic is just to amplify some of the flavors that are already there. You don't have to go overboard with it, and like any other seasoning, it's pretty much to whatever your taste is. But this combination of seasonings, as far as getting a nice smoked flavor on your food, is really, really good. And I highly recommend it. I've been doing this for briskets, I do it for pulled pork, I do it for ribs sometimes, various other things. It's a good combination of flavor. Now when it comes to the salt and pepper, there's already salt in this stuff, there's already pepper in it. I happen to like a little extra salt. Lets us mix all this up pretty good. Now I will say this, a lot of people put sugar, brown sugar, regular sugar, the white granulated stuff, into their mixes. I have problems with my blood sugar, so I don't typically add a lot to it, but there's already some in the McCormick mixes, so it's not anything that you really have to worry about too much. Once your seasoning's mixed and you think it's all good, kind of set it aside for now, and then we'll go ahead and open our pork. I'm just using regular kitchen shears. I'm going to open both of these. Once these are open, one of the things that you're also going to want to do is you're going to want to dry them. You don't want them sitting in their own blood or whatever while you season it. I don't think that you need much of a binder for these, but if you want to use a binder, I'm going to use avocado oil. Okay, so when you're looking at these, you'll see they came 2 to a package. They're really, really small. there's a lot of extra stuff on it. We're going to go through and trim that up a little bit and get them all dried off. And then we'll season. So I'll be back in just a minute. Leaving some fat on this is a little okay. Any of the stuff that you can pick off with your fingers, you probably don't want on there. Any of the silver skin, you probably don't want on there. It makes it tough. So like this little bit of fat here is okay. It's just going to cook well into the meat, and that'll be fine, no problems. But like the stuff here on the end, you don't want to keep that. So we'll just cut that off a little bit, trim it. And we'll continue to do this with the rest of these as they're drying, and we'll come back when it's time to season. Okay guys, so what I just did is I put some avocado oil on these, and we're going to rub it around, and we're going to use that as the binder for all these. And I promise I'm going to wash my hands in between touching this pork and touching these containers here to make sure I don't cross-contaminate. But you don't need a whole lot of oil, you just need a little bit. It's not going to do, because it's avocado oil, it doesn't really have a flavor, so it's kind of a neutral oil, which is really good because you don't want to take away from the smoky barbecue flavor of these. At some point in the future, I'm probably going to do something like this, except I'm going to use the PK360 and some hickory chunks. Alright guys, now that I have clean hands, we're going to start with the Woodfire Garlic first. We're just going to kind of generously put this on. You want to make sure that you coat all sides. Doesn't have to be a whole lot of seasoning. Just enough to kind of cover it up, and make sure you get the ends too, because they're real easy to miss. And then they scream at you and want to know why they're not seasoned. Obviously, if you don't like these seasonings, or you don't think that you'd like it, you're welcome to use whatever seasonings that you like. This is just how I like to make it. At the end of the day, what we're going to do is we're going to slice these into small medallions, and we're going to put them on Hawaiian rolls with barbecue sauce. So it's kind of like a pork slider, except it's not pulled pork. It's going to be pork tenderloin in solid medallions. So once you think you've got those seasoned up, we'll move over to the next seasoning. Try not to get it on the other one that we're going to use this other rope for. Looks like I got a little cross contamination there, but I think we'll be okay. So you guys have to let me know how you like the new microphone, how you like the new camera, the video setup. I've been playing with it and enjoying it. That's why my video content's kind of slowed down a little bit. Plus I've been trying to learn how to edit, and I'm not really good at that yet. I'm not really good at doing thumbnails yet. Getting better by the day though, which is pretty much all we can ask for. So when it comes to these other two, you don't have to be bashful. My hands are already kind of dirty on this side. So we'll set this over here, and I'll use my other hand to kind of sprinkle all this on. Like I said before, you can, whatever seasoning you like the best. I like to give it a nice coat. Make sure I get the end here. Then we'll flip it. We'll do this on all the sides as well. And then, like I said, I'm going to let this sit in the refrigerator for a couple of hours. You don't have to let it sit. I do it because I've discovered that using salt and giving it time to kind of work on the meat a little bit is much more flavorful. But if you don't have the time to do it, this whole cooking process on the smoker takes about an hour. You don't have to smoke it. You can cook it on the grill just fine. It'll cook quicker, obviously, but I think your result will still be good. It just won't have that nice sort of southern smoky flavor to it that you would be looking for in barbecue. So this honestly would be the first time I'm making a tenderloin this way. I got the recipe from Sam, the cooking guy. I cook a lot of his stuff. You'll be seeing my versions of it. The seasoning that he used on his version was different. He did it more of a Greek style, I think. Whereas, you know, down here in Texas, we like the southern barbecue. So you can also roll this around in here so that it gets up all the seasoning that's spilled over the sides. If you, just like that. if you want to get a shaker for this stuff, you know, make it up in a big batch like I'm doing, and then you can keep it in the cabinet and put it on your chicken or put it on pork or beef or whatever. It just kind of has that nice smoke flavor to it. Be careful with the pork to not over salt. You know, like I said, I put a little bit of salt in it, but not very much. And I like my stuff a little salty to begin with, so you may not need any at all with this particular round of seasoning. Well folks, here we have the final product. You can see it's soaking in pretty good. Let me get out of the way so there's not much shadow. You can kind of see what's going on. You can see the nice rough texture of that one. This one's a little smoother. Both of them have quite a bit of salt, so it'll start working on the meat and kind of tenderizing it and breaking it down. And yeah, we'll go ahead and put these in the refrigerator, and once we're ready to put them on the smoker, I'll bring you guys back. See you then. So, of course, I wanted to turn on the smoker today, and as you can probably see, it's nice and rainy. That's okay, we're gonna do it anyway. I don't really care. So here we go. This is the Pit Boss. It's a little bit dirty still, sorry. There's some condensation on the lens, sorry. So what I'm gonna end up doing is putting the meat probe that goes with this inside one of the 4 tenderloins, and then when they hit 145, I'm gonna pull them off. I'm gonna let them rest for 3 to 5 minutes, and then we'll slice them. I got some Hawaiian sub rolls that we're gonna put them on there. We didn't do a coleslaw because nobody in my house actually likes coleslaw, but you could make one and you could put it on there, or you could make a potato salad to go with it. I think we're just gonna do some tater tots in the air fryer and call it good. Sorry for the messed up picture with the condensation on the lens, but it's really humid. All right folks, welcome back. It's time to put these pork loins onto the smoker. As I showed you earlier, I got it up to 250, or that's what I set it up to. I'm gonna put these on here, and then I'm gonna come back and put a probe in it. I'm not gonna show you all that. And then we're gonna let it cook to 145 degrees, 150 degrees, and then we're gonna pull them off, let them rest, and then we'll slice them up for the sandwiches. One thing I'll tell you about the Pit Boss is that if you have one of the big ones from Lowe's, it's like 1,100 square inches of cooking. The center of it, where the little flame cup is, it's extremely hot. So you want to make sure that you're cooking these things indirect, and you don't want to put it directly over the center grate if you can avoid it. Okay, we'll be back in about an hour. Alright guys, you can see the temperature there is 147 internal. Look here at the probe, you can see this is what we're working with. I'm going to go ahead and pull these off and get ready to slice. Alright guys, we pulled these off the smoker. They're ready to cut. They've been resting for about 10 minutes, and we're going to get right into it. The grain runs long ways on a tenderloin, so we're going to be cutting across this way. So here we go. Hey guys, I'm just sitting here doing some editing on the video, and I realized that where I left it off, it didn't have a very good conclusion, so I wanted to add a few things to the video. First, the Til Valhalla Project for the t-shirt. They don't sponsor me, they probably don't even know who I am. It's just an organization that I like and I support, and I think them getting a little publicity is a good thing. Secondly, I didn't get a chance to put all the sandwiches together or get any video of that. The family moved a little too quickly, so sorry about that. We'll try and do better next time. But sandwiches turned out great. A little bit of barbecue sauce on some Hawaiian rolls. Put the tenderloins on it. Excellent stuff. If you haven't already, please like, share, subscribe. The more subscribers and the more views that I get, the better off. I appreciate all your help and your continued support. And if you guys have any suggestions, please leave me a comment. If you have something you want to see me cook, leave a comment. I'm happy to try anything new, and I look forward to hearing from you guys. Take care.